all heard, but I'm here to tell you the rumors are not true. Despite being called hard to decarbonize, not everything is hard about decarbonizing the United States industrial sector. There are opportunities to deploy and to make money today. So to start, I'm going to tell you the story of the first time I heard these rumors. I was considering a job with a steel processing company outside of Chicago, Illinois. And in a conversation with my potential boss, the chief operating officer, I asked him about the company's plans to decarbonize. And he responded with many of the same assumptions that we've all heard before, that operational efficiency and energy efficiency are the only levers, and other projects are not core to the business and its value proposition. And maybe I was naive, but I couldn't accept these answers. There had to be more that we can do. And so I joined a group of like-minded individuals at the Department of Energy's Office of Technology Transitions to map out a plan. And we did just that. Over the course of 3 Pathway to Commercial Liftoff reports that are representative of hundreds of internal and external interviews and analysis, we evaluated the path to decarbonization of 8 industrial sectors. This is the largest sources of US emissions, ranging from chemicals, refining, steel, food and beverage, cement, pulp and paper, glass, and aluminum. And we looked at the role of multiple different decarbonization pillars in getting to a path to net zero. And unfortunately, what we found is we are not on track. Despite making up 14% of US industrial emissions, the commitments from top players in these industries represents only a 1% reduction in US emissions by 2035. And the full potential of favorite technologies like energy efficiency would also only represent a 1% reduction. And that's if everything goes perfectly. And so it's not just about technology adoption, it's also about investment. The Liftoff report found that we need, at minimum, $700 billion to $1.1 trillion of capital expenditures to build the projects that we would need to almost, not even fully, decarbonize. And so what's going on? We're hearing that companies are passing up positive rates of return, and we wanted to get to the bottom of this. And we heard 3 rumors over the course of our conversations. First, that the technologies aren't ready. Second, that the investments don't pencil. And third, that we don't know where to start. Well, the next section of this talk is going to feel like an episode of Mythbusters on double speed. But I want to take you through the key myth-busting insights from our reports. And so first, let's start with the technologies. This page is a snapshot of what we heard companies were evaluating, had in operation, or our DOE experts told us was at commercial scale. And what you can see from the dark green on this page is that there are deployable, proven technologies available in every sector and in all these decarbonization levers. So let's look at an example in steel. There are opportunities in electrification to continue the use of electric arc furnaces, opportunities in raw material substitution through increased use of direct reduced iron, and finally, of course, energy efficiency through unit operations. So let's go to the second rumor, that the investments don't pencil. This is a chart that outlines the potential path to net zero from our baseline emissions in 2021. And each of these boxes represents emissions abated by a different activity. For today, I want to focus on that dark blue box. There lies the money on the table. These are projects of proven technologies that we estimate would be above a 10% internal rate of return. And projects in that box could abate up to 20% of these baseline emissions. So let's open it up and take a look inside. For cement, opportunities there represent $1 billion of value. This is through clinker substitution or use of alternative fuels. And we know it's possible. In Europe, they're already getting 50% of their energy for cement production from alternative fuels. In the US, it's 15%. So finally, let's turn to where to start. You're not supposed to be able to read that, but this is a snapshot of a pathway to commercial liftoff that we created for every sector that I mentioned. These pathways offer a vision for leadership in these sectors. They offer technologies across the research, development, demonstration, and deployment continuum, as well as actions and targets that these industries should go after. And then finally, they estimate the investment opportunity. So, for example, in chemicals, we found that between $90 to $120 billion of projects in that net positive 10% rate of return exist. So this is literally billions of dollars that could go to companies' bottom lines. And like all rumors, there are bits of truth. And we also mapped out the challenges that are holding many of these projects back and keeping them on paper. These are things like operational challenges of actually fitting retrofits into very tight operational timelines and maintenance timelines. The capital flow challenges to industries that are traditionally financing on balance sheet, which puts industrial decarbonization head-to-head with maintenance priorities, and a few others. And I'll say most of these are not requiring technology breakthroughs. They require innovation and creativity from many of the folks in this room today. And so it's easy to believe that industrial decarbonization is only going to get more and more important. We're hearing things like the carbon border adjustment mechanisms coming out of Europe and the climate disasters that happened around the world this summer. But the time is now. We have the support we need. There are unprecedented billions of dollars of investment from the Inflation Reduction Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law coming out of the US government. There are emerging demand signals for low-carbon products through things like First Movers Coalition and the Buy Clean Act from the federal government. And then there are early private sector movers that are figuring out where they can seize this new market. And so that's why I'm asking this group to lean in and be creative. Don't accept the easy path, because we want to make decarbonization put industry, their communities, and the United States in the driver's seat for the future. So the next time that you hear somebody say industrial decarbonization is hard to decarbonize, I hope you'll tell them to stop spreading rumors, because there are billions of dollars on the table today. Thank you.